Welcome back to our channel Be Curious. Today we're going to discuss more key points of immune system. Before this video we discussed humoral and cellular components and their functions, and now we move forward important concept for understanding the mammalian immune response. In this we study pathogen come in many form and must first breach natural barriers. Then the immune response quickly becomes tailored for suit the assault. After that we discuss pathogen recognition molecules can be encoded in the germline or randomly generated. After that we studied tolerance assurance that the immune system avoid destroying the host. After that we study the immune response is composed of two interconnected arms, innate immunity and adaptive immunity. After that we discuss adaptive immune response typically generate memory. Important concept for understanding the mammalian immune response. It is basically beginning to understand on a molecular and cellular level how a vaccine or infection lead to the development of immunity. And in this section we cover the range of organisms that challenge the immune system and several of the important new concepts that are unique hallmarks of how the immune system carries out this task. Move forward, we study pathogens come in many forms and must be first breach natural barriers. In this we study organisms causing disease are called pathogens, and the process by which they induce illness in the host is called pathogenesis. The human pathogens can be grouped into four major categories based on shared characteristics: viruses, fungi, parasites and bacteria. Some areas of the body such as the central nervous system are virtually off limits for immune system because the immune response could do more damage than the pathogen. Some foreign compounds that enter via the digestive tract, including the commensal microbes that help us digest food, are tolerated by the immune system. As we discussed, pathogens come in many forms. This describes the acidity of stomach, contents of the vagina, and perspiration poses a further barrier to many organisms which are unable to grow in low pH conditions. Animal bite can communicate rabies or tetanus, whereas insect puncture wounds can transmit the causative agent of such disease as malaria, mosquitoes, plague, fleas, and Lyme disease ticks. After pathogens come in many forms, we discuss the new format like the immune response quickly becomes tailored to suit assault. In this we study the process of pathogen recognition involves an interaction between the foreign organism and recognition molecule expressed by host cells. The entirety of this response is actually engagement of a complex system of cells that can recognize and kill or engulf a pathogen. Cellular immunity as well as myriad of soluble protein that help to orchestrate labeling and destruction of foreign invaders. Humoral immunity. The nature of immune response will vary depending on the number and type of recognition molecules engaged. For instance, all viruses are tiny, obligate intracellular pathogens that spend the majority of their life cycle residing inside host cells. This means that some immune cells must be capable of detecting changes that occur in a host cell after it becomes infected. This is achieved by a range of cytotoxic cells, but especially cytotoxic T lymphocyte, CTLs or TC cells as part of the cellular arm of immunity. These intracellular receptors bind to viral proteins present in the cytosol and initiate an early warning system, alerting the cell to the presence of an invader. The human immunodeficiency virus, HIV, infects a type of T cell called T helper cells. After the immune response quickly tailor suits assault, we gonna move toward pathogen recognition. Molecule can be encoded in the germline of randomly generated. In this, we study pathogen associated molecular pattern. PAMs are common foreign structure that characterize whole group of pathogen. Animals, both invertebrate and vertebrate, have evolved to express several types of cell surface and soluble proteins that quickly recognize many of the PAMs, a form of pathogen profiling. White blood cells naturally express a variety of receptors, correctly referred to as pattern recognition receptors (PRRS), that specifically recognize these sugar residues as well as other common foreign structures. When PRRS detect these chemical structure, a cascade of events labels the target pathogen for destruction. PPRS are protein encoded in the genomic DNA and are also always expressed by many different immune cells. These conserved germline encoded recognition molecule are thus a first line of defense for the quick detection of many of the typical chemical identifiers carried by the most common invader. For example, viruses frequently expose unique chemical structure only during their replication inside host cells. Many of these can be detected via intracellular receptor that bind exposed chemical moiety uh, while they still inside the host cells. Okay, this can trigger an immediate antiviral response in the infected cell that blocks further virus in replication. At the same time, this initiates the secretion of chemical warning signals sent to nearby cells to help them guard against infection. Host pathogen interaction are an ongoing arms race. Pathogens involve to express unique structure that avoid host detection because pathogens generally have a much shorter life cycle than their vertebrate hosts, and some utilize error prone DNA polymerases to replicate their genome. Pathogens can evolve rapidly to evade host encoded recognition system. This strategy called generation of diversity is employed only by developing B and T lymphocytes. The result is a group of B and T cells where each expresses many copies of one unique recognition molecule, resulting in the population with the theoretical potential to respond to any antigen that may come along. Okay, this structure shown generation of diversity and clonal selection in T and B lymphocyte, maturation in T and B cells, which occur in primary lymphocyte organs, bone marrow for B cell and thymus for T cells. In the absence of antigen, produce a cell with a committed antigenic species, each of which express many copies of surface receptor and bind to one particular antigen. Different clones of B cells are illustrated in this figure. Cells that do not die or become deleted during this maturation and weeding out process move into the circulation of the body and are available to interact with antigen. The clonal selection occurs when one of these cells encounter its cognate or specific antigen. Clonal proliferation of an antigen activated cell leads to many cells that can engage with and destroy the antigen, plus memory cells that can be called upon during a subsequent exposure. The B cell secrete antibody, a soluble form of the receptor reactive with the activating antigen. Similar process take place in the T lymphocyte population, resulting in clones of memory T cells and its effector T cells. The latter include activated Th cells, which secrete cytokines that aid in the further development of adaptive immunity, and cytotoxin T lymphocyte, which can kill infected host cell. There are three portions. First is generation of the diversity deletion phase and clonal selection expansion phase. In generation phase, stem cell divide into four type of cell, which is form again convert in two type of cells. This all occurs in the deletion phase, and the whole process is primary lymphoid organs. And further we go toward antigen. Antigen is also divided into further more cells. This is occurrence in the circulation through the body. After this step, we are more want to learn about tolerance enhancer that the immune system avoid destroying the host. Okay, in this we study the immune system must somehow avoid accidentally recognizing and destroying host tissue. This principle, which rely on self and non-self discrimination, is called tolerance. Okay, and after that we study the immune response is composed of two interconnected wall arms. First is innate immunity and second is adaptive immunity. Innate immunity includes built-in molecular and cellular mechanisms that are encoded in the germline and are evolutionarily more primitive, aimed to preventing infection or quickly eliminating common invaders. This includes physical and chemical barrier to infection, as well as the DNA encoded receptors recognizing common chemical structure of the many pathogens. Innate immunity also includes a series of pre-existing serum proteins referred to as complements. The second form of immunity is known as adaptive immunity, is much more attenuated to subtle molecular differences. This part of system which rely on B and T lymphocyte. This is show adaptive immunity which rely on the B and T lymphocyte. take longer to come on board, but is much more antigen specific. Adaptive immunity is the antigen specific. Typically, there is an adaptive immune response against a pathogen within 5 to 6 days after the barrier breach and initial exposure, followed by a gradual resolution of the infection. Adaptive immunity is a slower, partly because fewer cells possess the perfect receptor for the job. The antigen specific random generated receptors found on B and T cells. It is also slower because part of the adaptive response rely on prior encounter and categorizing of antigen undertaken by innate processes. Adaptive immunity thus provides a second and more comprehensive line of defense informed by the structures undertaken by the innate system. It is worth noting that some infections are in fact eliminated by innate immune mechanism alone, especially those that remain localized and involve very low number of fairly benign for invaders. For innate and adaptive immunity, both cells contract and by soluble messengers. Most of these soluble proteins are growth factor like molecules known by the general name cytokines. Cytokines and cell surface ligands can bind with receptors found on responding cells and signal these cells to perform new functions such as synthesis of other soluble factors or differentiation to a new cell type. A subset of these soluble signals are called chemokines because they have a chemotactic activity, meaning they can recruit specific cell to the site. In this way, cytokines and chemokines and other soluble factors produced by immune cells recruit or instruct cells and soluble proteins important for eradication of the pathogen from within the infection site. We have probably all felt this convergence in the form of swelling, heat and tenderness of at the site of exposure. These events are a part of large process collectively referred to as inflammatory response, which is all inflammatory response. And after that, adaptive immune response typically generate memory. Immunological memory, this is the ability of the immune system to respond much more swiftly with great efficiency during a second exposure of the same pathogen. Unlike almost any other biological system, the vertebrate immune response has involved not only the ability to learn from its encounters with foreign antigen in real time, but also the ability to store this information for future use. During a first encounter with the foreign antigen activity, adaptive immunity undergoes what is termed primary response. Same antigen or pathogen are referred to as secondary response. Comparison of innate and adaptive immunity response time: innate minutes to hour, in adaptive it's take days. Response time is days. And specificity of innate limited and fixed. and specificity of adaptive highly diverse adapts to improve during the course of immune response to repeat infection in innate same each time, and in adaptive more rapid and effective with each subsequent exposure. Major components in innate barrier phagocytes pattern recognition molecule, in adaptive T and B lymphocyte antigen specific receptors antibodies. Secondary response, memory cells keen of the final and most efficient B and T lymphocytes trained during the primary response and re-enlisted to fight again. These cells begin almost immediately and pick up right where they left off, continuing to learn and improve their eradication strategy during each subsequent encounter with the same antigen. Antigen in question, memory cells can remain for a decade after the conclusion of the primary response. Memory lymphocytes provide the means for subsequent responses that are so rapid, antigen specific and effective that when the same pathogen infects the body a second time, dispatch of the offending organism often occurs without symptoms. Immunologic memory harbored by residual B and T lymphocyte is the foundation for a vaccination, which uses crippled or killed pathogen as a safe way to educate the immune system to prepare it for later attacks by life-threatening pathogen. Innate immune system, the phagocytic cell releases cytokines and chemokines that attract other white blood cells to the site of infection, initiating inflammation. The pathogenic cell may then travel to a local lymph node, the tissue where antigen and lymphocyte meet, carrying bacteria antigens to B and T lymphocytes. Those lymphocytes with receptors that are specific for the antigen are selected, activated, and begin the adaptive immune response by proliferating. Activated Th cells help to activate B cells, and clonal expansion of both types of lymphocyte occur in the lymph node. This result in many T and B cells specific for the antigen, with the latter releasing antibody that can attach to the intruder and direct its destruction. The adaptive response leaves behind memory T and B cells available for a future secondary encounter with the antigen. Memory is a unique capacity that arises from adaptive response. There is no memory component of innate immunity. Thanks for listening.